Baby, it's Shaka being that mafioso that done died. The coldest ninja with a nunchuck swinging behind his back, aka Shaka Black, aka Shaka Fuego, aka SP Panther, aka Shaka Bean, aka Shaka Flame. Man. And I don't know if you boys ever done played Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit, Need for Speed Underground, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, you know, the classics. I know you youngsters probably don't know nothing about it. Man, listen, we got the Murcielago, Lamborghini Murciélago. Listen, bro, classic, iconic cars of the early 2000s, bro. Like, this Lambo just set it off for me, bro. Like, this just started my want and desire for Lamborghini. I think it inspired a lot of kids' desires for Lamborghini. If you a 90s baby, man. So, man, let's get into it, bro. The Lamborghini Murcielago, the last of its kind. Let's get it. Butterfly doors. And that's a classic color, too. Either yellow or black. Yellow brake calipers on that thing, boy. I mean, that mud still probably got a CD player in it. I don't even know if these youngsters know what a CD is. The fact that the CD is dated just shows how old I'm getting, bro. The CD is a relic of the past. Would you ever have thought? Would you ever have thought the CD would have got dated?
I feel that it's something very different. It is an event.
Very sexy.
From the moment you unlock it to
look at
the
that
moment
ass
you're
on
done,
that
the entire
baby.
process is an event. So because the car's a roadster,
that's an aftermarket radio.
The first thing you're going to do is check the weather, and you want to be very sure that you're not going to get rained on. Once that's clear, then you
can't put the top on it.
Where you're going to go, what time you're going to leave, what road you're going to take, and you're always trying to avoid traffic because the car hates traffic. Once you
what does that mean?
Decide that everything is a good go, you unlock.
I'm not a car and I hate traffic.
The car, it beeps because it
that's
loves
nice.
to beep, and then the doors open up. You sit in the car and it's really, really low. And once you look around, you can't see anything.
Because I'm low to the earth. He put a key in with a glove on. He ain't playing.
You wait a little bit, and then you give it that last click, and then you hear that engine just fire up. It is a wake-up call.
Ooh, that thing sound beautiful, boy. Listen to her purr. Oh, I heard that fireball spit out the muffler.
Lamborghinis were always recognized for being crazy, and they didn't make any sense. The Murcielago to me was a bit of a departure in the sense that it was the first Lamborghini that was launched under Audi's ownership, and the styling is quite different because everything is discreet. There's no wing that's just gonna stick out.
Look
all
how
the
beautiful
time.
that is. That section right there, that's pure craftsmanship. Aerodynamic, sleek body.
There's no design aspect where you have aggressive bumpers,
just
and,
classic
and spoilers, and just air intakes and stuff like that. Everything's
James Bond should have rode a Lambo.
And to me, it's classic. So from the start, the LP640 had a bit of a redesign versus the original Murcielago from 2002.
He said Lamborghini Lambo. I mean leather jacket Lamborghini man.
Slightly reshaped, and you have a bit of a curvature going along the sides. You have the air intakes, which are vents that rise when the engine is warm. It's quite a rewarding feature to be stuck in traffic.
Boy, it's not a fingerprint on that car.
Look at your side mirrors and you see these vents rising up, and then when you start going again, they start going back down, and I love that feature. The spoiler at the back,
like the Bugatti
is
skirt,
hidden. It raises at a certain speed, and then it goes back
like
down.
the Bugatti.
Most people don't even know it exists. In terms of the
Bugatti had that, but the Volkswagen Corrado had it first, way before the Bugatti, I believe.
Styling, there's no styling for style's sake. It really bugs me when you look at a supercar or any performance car that has fake openings and intakes. And with the Murcielago, there was none of that. And it's asymmetrical in its design. Because when they did the LP640, they upgraded the size of the engine from 6.2 liters to 6.5. And they had to upgrade the size of the oil cooler,
6.5 liter V12.
A larger intake. And so on one side of the car, you have an intake for the oil cooler, but on the other side, it's just blank. And there's no fake ventilation just for the sake of making it symmetrical. And it's these small design cues that, to me, add a bit of charm. Inside the car, in terms of your seating, it's kind of odd because you sit tilted towards the center of the car. It's a V shape. You're driving towards
that shit
12
is beautiful.
o'clock.
They got
You're looking
that
at
super
12 o'clock,
detail for this vehicle.
but you're seated
video.
towards 1 o'clock, but then your pedals are towards 2 o'clock, and then your steering wheel is somewhere in between that diagram. But the steering wheel is also angled in a very odd, like, angle, I guess, where
angled in a very odd
angle. It feels
angle.
Like you're
trying to be
steering
so
a bus.
sophisticated.
But then, because the engine's at the back and the steering wheel is very small, you feel like you're in a very big go-kart. It's a very odd feeling, but that's
fun.
where your senses kick in because the entire experience is...
He said it sounds like you're in a bus, but it feels like you're in a bus and a go-kart at the same time. Wow.
Like any other.
How? That shit sounds so beautiful. They're in Ohio for sure.
So one of the reasons I'm very passionate about this car is because I like to collect stories. A car is just an object at the end of the day. And unless it has a story behind it that you can relate to, then it's really not that interesting. Similarly, I have an interest in watches and watchmaking, and particular brand and watchmakers whose story sort of resonates with me is that of François-Paul Journe. François-Paul Journe today is considered to be the greatest living watchmaker of our time. Growing up, he wasn't the top-tier student, and so his mother took a chance and decided to enroll him in watchmaking school, which he loved and was really good at, but he was very outspoken. So his teachers...
Hey, y'all remember Heroes? I don't know if y'all know Heroes, but this is who he remind me of now that I see the watches. He gives me a Zyler. He reminds me of Zyler.
Spelled him, and they advised
Zyler
that he
was an evil watchmaker, but he was
he would never be a great
crafty.
watchmaker. Fast forward in the 90s, he was a great watchmaker, and he was developing movements for other manufacturers. To a point where he got fed up with the lack of appreciation. So in 1999, he decided to launch FP Journe, his own brand under his own name.
Watch.
At the first press conference, he was asked why he decided to do so, and his answer was, and I quote, "I was fed up giving pearls to swine." And that kind of relates to a similar story of Ferruccio Lamborghini. Lamborghini was a company that was making tractors.
Right.
And he was successful enough to be able to afford a few Ferrari road cars, and he had a Ferrari 250 GT, but he wasn't very happy with the reliability of the cars. He found that the clutch in the Ferrari 250 GT was the same clutch that he was using in his tractors. So he set up a meeting with Enzo Ferrari, and Enzo, being Enzo Ferrari, had zero interest and told him to go back to making tractors and let him do the road cars. And
he shouldn't have said that.
He wasn't very happy about this, but it sparked a very important feud between the two, and a feud that carries to this day between Lamborghini and Ferrari. So he decided to shift from making tractors to making GT cars. And he hired someone by the name of Giotto Pizzarini. Pizzarini was a chief engine developer at Ferrari, and he was the mastermind behind the 250 GTO. He was in the middle of developing a high-performance V12 racing engine for Ferrari, but then he got into a feud with Enzo, and he left and took his homework with him. And that's when he was approached by Ferruccio Lamborghini. So Giotto Pizzarini ended up reworking the engine that he was making for Ferrari, and he ended up with a 3.5 liter V12 engine that was capable of 400 brake horsepower, which was not what Lamborghini wanted at the time because he deemed it to be too powerful for a GT car. So he took the engine, but he fired Bitturini. And
That's
the engine
crazy.
became known as the Bitturini V12.
Enzo probably was on that cocaine. Because Enzo, he seemed like
because
an
the
asshole.
engine dates through 5 decades of the brand and was shared throughout so many different iconic models today, people recognize the Murciélago as sort of the last true Lamborghini. It's the last
that
of
thing sound
the
nice.
truly sort of manual cars, where you feel so much engagement with the steering, with the engine, with just the time period that the car was designed. There's a very distinct redirection between the Murciélago and everything that sort of came after. So when it comes
A V12
to
or 400
buying
horsepower is
a
nothing
car
these days.
like this, for me, I'm a purist. I like the car to be exactly the way it left, with all its
Bells and
faults, with all its things that are nice, not so nice. I just want it to be how they wanted it to be. And finding that
rear tire on that
was
car is
quite
thick
a
as
challenge.
hell.
The two things that are, in terms of shopping, are going to be if you want a roadster or a coupe. And I've always wanted a coupe, and I've always wanted an orange coupe, because I had a toy car like that.
Right.
Even though I wanted a coupe, finding a coupe was a bit of a challenge. There was one example of a roadster.
What's the difference
that
between a
I
coupe
kept
and a
eyeing for
roadster?
about
It's
18
both got
months.
2 doors.
I always told myself that one day I'm going to go.
One
in
doesn't
there
have a
and I'm gonna
top
take
on
look
it?
at I've never sat in a Murciélago. I've never sat in a Lamborghini before. So why don't I go and maybe just see this in person? And I decided to go to the dealership, saw the car, fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. And
I ain't gonna lie, I would never sell a car to a guy who looks at it that hard for that long. I'll be like, hell nah, bruh. Because I know for a fact I got these brakes built, got them redone in a shitty way to increase profit. And that doorknob right there gonna come off if he wiggle it. So he don't need to look that hard. He gonna find everything. He gonna find everything wrong with that car.
I decided to take a seat in it. And when I did, I looked up, there was nothing. And I looked behind me, and there's about 6 inches between a V12 engine and my ears.
Hey, just imagine you selling a car to somebody. He get a camera and he start going like this. No, I gotta get the right shot. Man, I'll be like, hell nah, boy.
And I was like, this is kind of cool. I can't see anything out of here, but it's amazing.
He got
The
that
second
calm
aspect
crazy too.
is between a stick shift and an e-gear.
All those watchmakers.
And today there's a lot of demand for the stick shifts. For me, I grew up with the e-gear in mind. It was the only thing that I ever wanted because all of the press videos of the car at the time were e-gears. I didn't grow up with stick shifts. It wasn't a part of my childhood. So I have no connection to that. And in terms of rarity, you gotta buy what you like. And I'm not going to base my desire for a stick shift because
is that watch
people
expensive?
decide
Because he's
it's
showing
worth
it off
more.
like it's a rolling or
And
something.
the e-gear is not an automatic transmission. It is a semi-automatic where you have a manual transmission, but the only difference is that you don't have a third pedal because the clutch is activated via electronics. So you as a driver choose the gear that you want to be in,
not a real
and the
stick
car will
shift.
take care of the rest. It'll downshift, rev match, double D clutch. It'll upshift quicker than any other stick shift can, and it does it so beautifully. And for the purposes of that, it's
just a manual. You can't have a stick shift with no stick in the car.
wonderful. It does have its downsides. The downsides of the e-gear is that
They
it
put
was
the
not
stick in the
designed
box.
for stop and go traffic, trying to park the car. And I excuse all that stuff because I'm sure that when they were working on it,
Bro,
they
ain't
didn't
nobody
care
going to
about
the
you
grocery
parking
store in a
the car.
Lambo.
So for
Somebody
me,
gonna open their door
it
and
doesn't
scuff
matter.
your paint the
But
first
once
day you
you're
get it.
on the go, and you got your foot down, and you're nearing 8,000 RPM, and you pull that paddle,
That shit
that
screaming
engagement
so
is
nice.
pure magic. You feel a mechanical disconnect, and your body sort of jolts forward, and then the gear clicks in, and all of a sudden you get jolted to the back of the car. And just that little thrill factor to me is worth everything.
The G-force.
It looks kind of odd to be the owner of a car but then admire it at the same time with other people. But what people don't realize is that,
man, he looked way too serious, bruh.
I might have the keys, but I'm the same enthusiast. I'm the same admirer that I was, and I still look at the car as if it wasn't mine. My dream.
Hey, he the type to park in front of his girl house when they finna go on a date, and he spent 30 minutes just looking at it, looking at the reflection. Look how the body of the car is so translucent in the sunshine. Look how the rim rotates on its axis at 360 degrees, just so perfect, like that of a clock, like that of a watch. You know, this car came from some untumultuous beginnings, and it was just like, come on, bro.
When I was younger, was to be able to buy this car and put it in a studio or a living room, where every morning I would just wake up and look at it.
Are
For
you
me,
serious?
it's just the admiration. And I don't think any supercar to me is a statement of one's own success. I think the fact that
he does not drive
a
that car.
12-year-old grew up with the first car manufacturer he ever could pronounce was Lamborghini. And
Look
then
how he closed the
when
top. He closed it with the fingers.
Older,
like,
he did something that might not be very smart, but he went and bought it. That's a statement of the car's success. It's not of the individual, because at the end of the day, owners change, but the car is still the car.
wow. I swear, the way he describes that Lambo, it can talk. And he has to feed it like it's a baby. I like Lambos, but I don't know if I like any car that much. I mean, it's almost like he wants to... That was loud. No way. I don't think he loved himself more than he loved that car. How heavy is a Lamborghini? Hey man, that boy was not playing by his Lambo, bruh. Hey, do not mess with that man's Lambo.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Chemic Queen Show. Today,
yeah, do not mess with that man's Lambo, bro. I swear he'll do some crazy things behind that Lambo, bro. Cause he was absolute, and rightfully so. I mean, if you're a collector, you gotta have that type of enthusiasm about a car, bro. I mean, that shit right there was wild. That shit was wild. Nah, for real. But shout out to bro, man. Shout out to bro. He got a nice car, man. That's how you supposed to treat the shit, man. You know what I'm talking about? But, hey, man, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment. What's your top dream cars, man? And did you grow up looking at the Murcielago and be like, damn, man, I want a Murcielago or the Audi R8 or anything like that? You know what I'm saying? Hey, but let me know down in the comments. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. Let your boy know what you think, man. I'm here for it. It's your boy Shaka Big and Mafioso the Dundada Codes with no touch behind his back, aka Shaka. Please act. Signing out, man. Peace.